Hi, and welcome to the Black Starters Podcast, featuring stories of Black business owners, leaders, and artists walking through their journey from the start through obstacles and onward to success. Powered by BlackStarters.com. And now, here's your host, Lauren Marie.
Hey Starters, it's Lauren, and today's episode is going to be really fantastic. I am here with Dawn Fitch of Puka Pure and Simple, and in this episode we talk about how her health prompted the start of her business. We talk about her getting into Whole Foods, and we talk about the power of following up. So be sure to stay to the end, and let's just go ahead and jump right in. So Dawn, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Dawn Fitch. I am the president of Puka Pure and Simple, and Puka is a line of bath and body products that I started actually in my kitchen 17 years ago. I'm a graphic artist by trade. I used to work for Sony Music. I used to teach elementary art. And then I got sick going to the city every day. I got sick and I spent years going to doctors and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. So I just decided, okay, if you're going to they kept sending me home saying, oh, you're healthy. I'm like, I don't feel good. So I just said, all right, I got to make some changes. So I changed my diet and I changed, exercise and things like that. I took out pork. My father was devastated. How are you going to not eat pork? I'm like, okay. And then I looked at my bath and body products and I was like, okay, I went to college. I couldn't pronounce anything. And then when I did the research, a lot of it was preservatives that, could have these things on the shelves for like up to 2 years. I said, if I'm not going to eat old food, I'm not going to put old things on my body. So therefore, I just started Googling recipes and making things myself. And, my mom called us her Pukalitas. We don't know why when we were little. So the graphic artist in me just put a label on everything and I couldn't fit Pukalita. So cut it in half, Puka. And I had so much stuff in my apartment because then I was getting into it. My friends were like, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. I'm itchy. I have this. I can make you something. So I'm making stuff left and right. I had shea butter in my stove, in my kitchen. I had bottles. Like there's no food in my house, but you will be moisturized if you come here. So they were like, you have so much stuff, Dawn. Why don't you just we have a local festival. Like take it to a festival, see if you can sell something. In my mind, I was like, I just want to, if I sell a couple things, maybe I'll get a new pair of shoes. It's so sad to think that way. But we did, and we sold out, and God is good. It's been 17 years. We're now sold in Whole Foods. We're sold online. It has been an amazing journey, ups and downs, but I wouldn't trade it. So that's sort of how Puka was born.
So I imagine when you launch a product, especially a product that's in an industry so broad as beauty and skincare, where there's so many competitors, that it's quite difficult, right? You have to get people to not just buy into you and who you are as the saleswoman, but also into a product that they have maybe never seen before, or never tried. So what were some things that you feel like you did really successfully in getting your product out there and getting people to buy into it?
At the very beginning, it was very grassroots. And I think that's a little misconception that people have now. Like, hey, I'm going to start a product, put up a website, and people are going to buy it.
Right.
Especially for us, for skincare and fragrance, people, one, wanted to smell it, or two, they wanted to try it. So at that point, you figure this is 17 years ago. Like, I don't want to date myself with my age, but this is 17 years ago. So there was really no other option for us. We also didn't have large loans or, a huge amount of startup money because we weren't really planning that this was going to be a business. So for us, everything was very grassroots. I mean, we were really hustling. We did local festivals. So what we would do is we would go to festivals, we'd set up a table, we'd give out samples, we'd give out cards, and we'd collect the mailing list. And we did this for at least 2 years. So that's what I sort of tell people. It's a little bit easier now, but the most important thing we did was to do a lot of these festivals. Even travel, anywhere we can drive and even fly. We went to Indiana. If there were expos, we were doing them because we knew people had to smell and try this stuff. And then the second part was collect the email address because there's no sense in making one sale there if you can never get in touch with this customer again. So we were not concerned with people purchasing. We just wanted them to try it, to like it, and to get their email address. So from doing that, we build up like I have to say maybe I don't know, I think 12,000 people on the email list now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's such an important thing. I see a lot of people out doing business and selling things and not collecting email addresses. If you can't get back in touch with your customer, then you don't have a customer. So for us, it was very, getting out there and letting people actually smell it and try it and spread the word.
Yeah.
And then we were sort of before the social media boom. So we would do, oh my gosh, we are old.
Yeah, so when you're at the usually when I think about email collection, I think about like lead magnets on social ads or something that direct you to a website. But you're
Right.
you're talking in-person events. So how did you go about collecting like
And this is what I tell people. It's so much easier now. Now there are lead magnets. Now you can use MailChimp or Constant Contact. And on your iPad, you can
mm-hmm.
just have people sign up right there. This being 17 years ago, we had paper with our letterhead on top of it and a list, and we manually collected. I mean,
mm-hmm.
now it's on the website and it's so much easier. But back then, I mean, it was just a manual collection of emails. So when I look at our email list, I'm like, this is a fought for hard email list.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy. But if we didn't have it, we would be out of business
Huh.
because now we're able to. I tell people social media, you have to go to it, but they control that. If Facebook takes away my account or Instagram takes away my account, I've lost that.
Mm-hmm.
When you have an email, you can put something directly in somebody's box, and I have my list. So I can always get in touch with people.
And now, here's a quick word from our supporters.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Goodwin. I'm 11 years old and the president and CEO of Gabby Bows. My mommy and I solved the age-old problem of disappearing girls' hairbreadths by inventing the double-faced double-snap rat. Buy my product that will never slip out of the hair at GabbyBows.com.
Now, let's get back to the show.
So in the process, this whole process over the last you said 17 years, what would you say was an obstacle that you ran into, and then how did you overcome that obstacle?
Finances. Finances are always an obstacle. I mean, for a smaller business to get funded, and we were very bootstrapped, buy a whole bunch of stuff and sell it and then use that money to buy more raw supplies. But at some point, if you want to grow your business, you need an infusion of cash. So that was a big obstacle for us. But we got a line of credit. We started small. We still own 100% of the company. We have no outstanding loans. You want to save as much of the company as you can for when you grow bigger and get those big offers. You don't want to have sold off, 70% of your company already. Another big obstacle for us, I think, which people think that they are too small for, is we were on the shelves of Whole Foods and we had not officially trademarked our logo. So now we get a call to cease and desist using the Puka name because there's a company called Pookie that sells lip balm, and they told us to cease and desist. We spent a lot of money with lawyers and fighting that, and come to find out, they were just trying to go out. They were going out of business, so they were trying to get as much as they could from us. But I mean, they did have a legal leg to stand on. I mean, we didn't really know it at that point, but you have to spend the money to fight the fight. We couldn't change the name. Now we're on the shelves at Whole Foods.
Right.
So we finally did reach an agreement with them after spending a lot of money, not with them, with lawyers, that we couldn't sell lip balm for 5 years. And then we had to, if anybody had calls or anything about them, that we had to, forward it on to them. So it was a very valuable lesson. So I say for any small, but you're not too small, get an accountant or at least start using QuickBooks, trademark your name, do the things that you're supposed to do. And don't wait until, oh my gosh, we're big, because then it could just be a mountain of disaster.
Yeah.
But we're trademarked now.
That's some obstacle. Like, I
yeah.
gotta say, that's not what I expected. But
yeah,
I do
it was
that.
tears. I was like, what? I mean, to get a letter saying you can no longer use your name.
Right.
So there's just, oh girl, I got obstacles for days.
Let's hear another one. That's all. I mean, I think those are lessons that you don't really hear about. Like if you can learn from somebody else's situation.
Let me see. Look, am I prepared for another obstacle? Let me see. I mean, I have lots of obstacles about missing opportunities because I didn't return calls. And
Oh.
I am the queen of, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And we had gotten a call, and it was from a really a really big magazine, and I didn't return the call because I assumed now it's probably spam, it's probably nothing.
Mm.
And then we saw one of our competitors had a beautiful feature story, and that was supposed to be
Oh.
us. So I don't know if that's an obstacle, but those are things that, like, pay attention. Like I said, things you
Mm-hmm.
learn in kindergarten. If somebody calls you, call
Mm-hmm.
them back.
Yeah, I actually feel really bad because I am the worst. Like of the friends in my group, I am the one uh, that they all say like never answers the phone, or phone is always dead, or like it takes me forever to reply to messages. So I feel really convicted right now. But I think that's so true. Just the power of the follow up. Let's actually end right there. I think that's a fantastic little learning piece to end on. Don, thank you so much for spending time with me and for just sharing all of these things. Starters, be sure to let me know what you enjoyed about this interview. Let me know if you learned anything and maybe what stood out or was convicting to you. As always, please give me a 5-star rating and a review. And let me know how I can make this show better. Also, let me know who you would like to hear from, because I would love to get some of your requests on the show. So, yeah, that's it for this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you for listening to the Black Starters Podcast. For more exclusive content, don't forget to log on to blackstarters.com. There you can find all our social media sites. And if you like this episode, don't forget to leave a 5-star review, comment, and share.